It was about 3 years ago I decided to delete social media from my phone and take a break. About 10 years prior to that, I had worked in the online social media space. Quite frankly, I was burnt out. I was sick and tired, and I decided to just unplug. Me and my husband have always been big YouTube watchers, and I stumbled upon a woman named The Garden Answer. And let me just say, she inspired me to create this garden that I've created. Now, when I say garden, I mean a landscape garden. Every time I tell people I'm working on my garden this weekend, they say, "Oh, what vegetables do you grow? How big is it?" And I always have to say, it's not a vegetable garden. It's a flower garden. I don't even eat vegetables, but that's a conversation for another day. Today, I want to take you on a tour of my front garden. I've put a lot of work in this over the last year. I need to find some old videos to show you the progress. This is one of my favorite planters. I got this clematis on clearance. It looks a little sad. I don't really know if it's gonna, I had one bloom like right when I planted it, but not much has happened, and I don't really know. This is kind of a variety or a brand I'm not really familiar with, but that's why I planted the yellow flowers and the Super Tunia Bordeaux to kind of give it a little bit of color. This is also from the clearance rack. It's a purple fountain grass, kind of struggling. I've been giving it a lot of water. This area right here, this big bunch is a Shasta daisies I grew from seed last year. I picked off the first blooms because I hope it gets thicker at the bottom. It took me a long time to decide what to put here. I searched high and low for the perfect yellow flower. I stumbled upon these at the local garden center. They're actually new to garden centers this year, and they have a little touch of blush, which that's the name. Super cute. I'm excited to see how they grow. I've also put in a drip line this year to really kind of make my life easier. With kids in sports all the time, I definitely need a way to water when I can't always be here to do that because it's getting so big. There's just so much to water. This is my planter. Just planted it up yesterday. I'm always excited to see how the planters will grow over the season. I'm not putting a lot in this section because we kind of have ants happening. Not very fun. I'm gonna have to call the Orchid Man or something. If you've ever had any kind of ant hills, comment below any help you might have. My husband bought these two pine trees around Christmas time. They were very small. I repotted them this spring. Have so much new growth on them, and I'm so fired up. I'm probably gonna keep them in pots and then put, Christmas lights on them around Christmas time. I've been really into yellow this year. These are little bobo hydrangeas that they rooted in at the bottom of my plants, and I cut them off. That one's not doing well, as you can see, but that one is doing very well. I'm probably going to keep it in a pot this year and then plant it in the landscape next year. This is just another little house plant. I have most of my house plants on my porch. I actually just took a little one off of one that was dying and put it in there, seeing if it's going to root in and grow. Like I said, these are all my houseplants. I really need to work on this porch. My husband's going to be like, "Why would you take a video of the porch like that? It looks terrible." And it does. He went to a local place called Ollie's and said they had some good outdoor rugs. We need to go over there because I really want this porch to be cute. But these are all my indoor plants. I've brought them all out for the summer. They're doing great. And then this is a pothos that I just planted in these hanging baskets. Going to kind of see if they can root in and really grow this year. They kind of were on their last leg in smaller planters. This is my big baby, my Monstera. I love it. It's so big. I need to get a better trellis because it's getting very large, and I need to pin it up a little better. But it has had so much new growth. I probably really need to repot it too. And then I have these two plants over here. This one's looking a little sad, but I think she's making a comeback. Before we wrap this up, I want to show you the full picture. Some of you guys may remember this was completely grass. It was just too hard to mow. It was too small, so we decided to cut it all out, create this beautiful garden. And I'm so excited to see all of this grow up and come together. It's completely filled up. I have room for nothing else. I'll probably try to squeeze something in. We'll see. I'm sure you'll see in the coming tours. So I'm really excited about this area. Today we have a lot of work to do. We need to wrap up some projects, get some things started. I'm going to start here with this planter. I need to get it leveled up. It was not very level, and I need to I didn't have enough dirt to fill in the pot. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. I also need to plant some zinnias. Now, last year I planted zinnias all in the front of my garden. They were too tall. So this year I don't really have space for them. I don't have a cut flower garden yet. So I'm just going to try to plant the zinnias in these pots and see what happens. I saw it on a YouTube video and I thought, that's super cute. So I'm going to give it a try. I don't know how it's going to turn out. There might not be enough space. Zinnias get pretty big. But somebody gave me this cute variety and I thought, you know, I want to try it. Here it is. It's just like a different variety of colors. Last year, I think I did the Queenie Lime, but this is a variety. So I'm kind of excited. At first, I wanted very specific colors, but now I like all the colors. I use a lot of colors. I haven't used much red, but I think that's coming because each of these flower beds, especially that front flower bed I showed you in the tour yesterday, each year I'm going to do that in different colors. Now I'm going to get these Supertunia Bordeaux's planted. These are probably my favorite plants. Last year I planted them in other areas in the ground and they didn't do very well, but I think it comes back to my ant problem. I'm hoping this section, I have not seen any ants on this side as much, so I'm thinking they will do better over here. Only time will tell. My dirt is a little dry, so I kind of have to break it up to get it to plant in there. I plant this with all of the new plants I plant in my planters in the ground. It's just kind of like a little extra start for them. This is the Woods Edge garden, the east side. My husband dug this out last year as well. I'm very excited. As you can see, this hosta is hiding behind the salvia and I need to get it switched. So I'm going to be moving some plants around today because down here, you don't always know when you plant things the year before when they're really little, especially in the fall. I don't know how big these things are going to grow or how they're going to look. So I need to kind of adjust a few things so that this looks right. I'll do a full tour of this probably next week because I'm going to be moving quite a few things around back here. And I just want to get it all moved around before I do a tour, which I'm going to be doing tours all summer because I want memories of what this looks like throughout the time. I also need to move one of those plants back there out of the way as well. This is my favorite hosta right here. It's huge. I do not know what variety it is, but I need to probably split it off and move it. That's a climbing hydrangea I bought last year in a quart. Very small, but it's already attaching to the tree. I got all of these plants on the clearance rack, that silvery blue. That is the plant I'm talking about moving. I need to move it over there, which that's the love garden. I love looking at this garden from the house, and I'm so excited to see it grow up. It's mainly part shade. I'm sure you'll see it more this summer. This is the love garden. It is dedicated to the people who built this house, the Richmonds. I love this garden. It's a little rooty and it seems shallow. There was actually a layer of filter fabric that really gets in my way, but it's kind of disintegrated and weakened so much. I need to dig out some of this stuff and then plant it deeper so that I make sure it doesn't have shallow roots, because a lot of this section has done that. It has a lot of weeds. So I'm going to get this all cleaned out so I can get a better view, because I need to move some more plants around, like that plant I showed you guys yesterday. And yeah, you'll see me do a lot of work in this area today. Thank you, honey. This area back here was completely overgrown. We cleared out all the underbrush, and now we're just kind of trying to game plan where we want to put some flower beds, because it's very difficult to mow. I did plant some hostas back here, which you're going to see. It's a very shady area. In the spring, before the leaves are here, it's not so much. Should I just cut out this area right here? I can do this space.
Because you come around here, you gotta get this tree, but then now I don't got enough room to get my lawnmower.
Your lawnmower won't fit there?
No, it fits here, but you gotta get mulch around this. You gotta get mulch around this.
Let's just take that tree down.
I was thinking about that too, and I was like, man.
Yeah, let's just take that tree down. Yeah, it's got to go. It'll be better anyways, because that'll just like make this whole area like, man, these are some widow makers. Can you imagine this thing falling on your head? Shit. We need to just clean out all back there too.
Maybe we'll just cut this out from now. We won't put any more around this one. I'll just leave this one. You don't have to cut it out now. You don't have to make any decisions. Maybe.
We need to cut that one down too. That one growing out of that one. Yeah. That thing needs cut off too, right there. Chop. Can you dig that up and move it somewhere else? Like, can you just move it to the backyard? Like, put it over in that side? Cut it out like a plant. You have to mark it. Here's a quick little tour of the Woods Edge Garden East. This is the back side. I don't know if I have told you, but my grandma gave me like 25 to 30 hostas last year. I've been able to really fill up my areas. So all of these plants are just in here, obviously. It's funny because all of these areas, like most of these plants are shade plants, but they are facing towards the house because that's where the most sun comes from. Don't hurt yourself. Here's the front side. Trying to get all that wood used. Probably plant more hostas there. We got some boxwoods from my mom last year and planted those throughout, which is such great winter interest. More hostas. Some of the Shasta's daisies I grew from seed I put down here. They're growing up great. This is that little garden area again. Now I'm going to move that plant I was telling you about earlier. I'm going to move this. This is one of my favorite hostas. I think it's a hosta. It grows out a purple flower mid to late summer. I love those. I'm going to move it back here to this area just because I need some more filler. And this is kind of my hosta garden. I call it the love garden. And hostas just grow great back here. Like I said, I'm trying to get under the filter fabric. I think some stuff was planted on top of the filter fabric and it just has very shallow roots. So I'm cutting down below those to get them planted in deep, hoping that that will help them not be so wimpy looking. I want them to grow large. Hostas in our area can grow very large and luscious, and that's the look I'm going for. So that's why I got to get down deep underneath that filter fabric. I'm not a big filter fabric fan. Hate pulling weeds, but I cannot stand filter fabric. This is the area up by the house. I am going to move a few more hostas over here. This is a very shady area, so I don't really have, I guess, a lot of like annual color in here, but I would really love if these hostas just grew very voluptuous and large and surrounded this tree. The weeds around this tree get pretty bad, but I try to keep them trimmed down, and I'm hoping these hostas will just grow and cover that.
What are you showing me?
Nothing. We're walking around and you're showing me what you did down here.
Nothing. Probably just throw a bunch of rocks around these trees.
Yeah. It's like, look at this side. I need some dirt for that hole right there, but everything faces that direction because of the sun. Not the hostas fully, but look at them. The leaves are like facing that way.
Alright, so you got this. You can plant some hostas in between these trees.
You really got this thing out.
This thing goes all the way.
Wow. Yeah, we need a lot of bulbs.
I'm thinking, like, I mean, that whole tip can be like all ferns down there. I was wanting to maybe put those rocks. I would like maybe put some rocks inside here, maybe. Put a little point right here, and then it's a heart.
No.
Or like a little,
I like it. I need this. There's a stump right here. I need that taken out because then
pretty dead. Just get your little hatchet and just
hatch it out.
and just chop away at it.
There was like that fell and it wasn't good. I planted something like this in that corner, but it died. But then I moved something else down here. But I dug down beneath. There was like a layer of felt that was like, it's embedded in there and it's stuck in some of the growth. But I think this is buried beneath it. This, just some stuff needs dirt around it. Huh? It's just like there's me little pods of things. I need to figure out like what else can grow in the woods because I feel like I get you're just like, just ferns, but like.
And hostas and whatever else you know that grows in shade.
While we're out here, I want to take you over to the west side of the woods edge garden. Those 30 hostas my grandma got me. I planted some of those over here. I love the ones with the white tips. They really just stick out. I love to look from the house because everything in the woods is so green. Great. I love the woods. Not complaining. However, sometimes these white hostas just stick out so well. This tree really needs to come down. It's a split tree. It's going to fall down eventually, but the issue is our electrical runs right here. So it makes it difficult. That's my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will be having so many more videos in the coming weeks, so make sure to like and subscribe to stay in tune. Hope you have an amazing day. Bye.